Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT news and plenty to discuss today with the North American VCT Playoffs starting later on this evening. The Sentinels guys have certainly been coming to the defense of TenZ and his difficult recent performances. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, thought this is pretty funny to be honest. The Sentinel social media guys continue to kill it. Our biggest challenge yet. They've been calling the guard the gourd for quite some time now, and well, they're having a good time. So they play them tomorrow, not tonight. That's Friday, March the 18th. This is honestly a massive series for Sentinels. Yes, it's played online. I believe that TenZ is going to be out in Texas. At least that has been the discussion as of late. That well, to compete in this matchup. Of course, the ping situation the other day in their final match against version 1 was not ideal, but ShahZaM's got a few words to say on that here in just a second. Firstly, we've got to talk about the European side, because finally a lot of these matches have been going on the last few days. So, well, M3C Major 3 Champs, which is, of course, the name now of the Gambit. So it's essentially the Gambit team that's now competing for, well, for an independent team organization, effectively, because of what's going on in the world right now. They played Na'Vi last night. M3C win this match pretty comfortably. An important one for them, actually, because I'm pretty sure they're 1-1 or something, not in the greatest spots. Now they're 2-1 with a great chance to go 3-1, and at that point they should qualify to the winners bracket, and it will get through to the playoffs, right? Because only top 3 qualify through at that point. So yes, M3 champions as they are now known, but effectively the Gambit team, they win this series 2-0. Pretty comfortable. Nats Redguard leading the way. Chronicle not with the greatest series, which is pretty impressive because I guess he didn't need to do all that much in this series. 13-5. Breeze goes 13-9. Pretty comfortable. Gambit, M3 champions now. They managed to make their way through. Now, well, on the other side of the European scene, we've got Fnatic playing up against Guild. This was a phenomenal series. I'm pretty sure in the game 1 as well, like Turko started off like 14-3 in like 4 rounds or 5 rounds or something. He had a ridiculous start to the game. And yeah, Fnatic go all the way to game 3 with the Guild. Like game 1 Guilds win, then it goes game 2 and Fnatic win that one. Then it goes game 3. Fnatic look really good right now. And they're going to look to go into playoffs, go into Masters, and hopefully we'll get even further than that, to be honest, because, I mean, look at these series stats. Turko put the squad on the back, to be honest. You look at these stats, you wouldn't really be sure who won this series, to be honest. You might even think it was the Guild guys. But they lose it in the end. The Haven goes 13-5, Bind 13-5 as well in their favour, and then split 13-5 also. So Fnatic looked really good when they turned it around in this series towards the end. Guild also looked solid. But yes, this is how it looks now in the groups in the European side. So, in Group A, there's still a fair few matches to play. I'm pretty sure FPX still have to play M3 champions. M3C, that being Gambit, of course, they play big, I believe, today, and then Na'Vi and I think London still have to play each other as well. Liquid are here at 3-2, so they're going to be through to the winner's side, and then in Group B, everything is now locked up. So SMB now at 0-5, it's Gambit 5-0, get the number 1 seed, G2, Guild, BBL, and Ascend, of course, we talked about a few days ago, surprisingly out of qualification in Group B. They will not be at playoffs, they will not be at Masters as a result. Speaking of match results over the last 24 hours, had to talk about this as well, because of course, yesterday we discussed that 100 Thieves lost a pretty well surprising matchup to Saw Gaming. They went on, well, Saw Gaming went on to lose in the next round to Gen.G, and then Gen.G went on to play FaZe in the grand finals. This is not a particularly great representation, really, of what 100 Thieves are capable of, because they lost to Saw, who then lost to Gen.G, who then lost to FaZe. So, yeah, really not the greatest position for 100 Thieves to be in right now, and honestly, FaZe with this new roster they brought in, Larry Banks out, Poach coming into the team, they looked an awful lot better, to be honest. It's pretty impressive how they're looking right now, because TSM and FaZe both have certainly showed some promise since failing to qualify. 2-0 over Gen.G in the grand finals of this tournament is babybay, Dicey. They certainly had the performances of the day, no doubt, and Poach, since coming in here on the sofa, has done a fantastic job. 13-8 on the Haven, and then 13-3 on the Breeze to close out the tournament. So yeah, very impressive work, to be honest, and the FaZe guys, they run through this tournament pretty convincingly at the end of the day, and there's a new Knights tournament coming up very soon on March 21st to the 23rd, where FaZe will play, in addition to Gen.G, the 2 grand finalists. T1 will be there, TSM will be there, 100 Thieves will be there, and Vox Ghost and the crew. So, I mean, yes, we're going to see these teams more online, see like TSM FaZe who can get better, with 100 Thieves continue with the same roster than we imagine they will do, but again, still plenty of work for them to do. If they're for the band tournament here in a few days' time, questions will be raised again as to whether something needs to go. Now, one of the big talking points of the last couple of weeks or so has been ShahZaM and the Sentinels guys and how exactly they are faring right now, because against version 1, they didn't play as well as they could have done, right? I think version 1 frankly outplayed them all across the board, and yes, TenZ did not have the greatest series. There's so much pressure on TenZ, to be honest. Like, every single time he plays a series, everyone is looking at the stat board and thinking, okay, wow, this guy's underperforming, or whatever the case might be. Look, it's good to see his teammates have his back, but at the end of the day, it is true that statistically, TenZ does not have the greatest time on the jet the last 30 days or so. If you look at his stats, he's actually got a 0.95 KD in their matches over the last 30 days. Their results also aren't particularly great, and again, generally one of the worst performing players on his team the last few matches or so. Of course, like, TenZ's individual talent is absolutely absurd. But like, I think there is to some degree, I think even ShahZaM mentions it in a clip I'm about to share for you guys, that he was getting in his own head about the whole ping situation. ShahZaM says, look, the 70-80 ping that TenZ was on, that was not the reason we lost the game to version 1. And, you know, people just sort of talk so much trash on TenZ. dapr even says a few words as well, the fact that, like, look, TenZ is just a kid, like, people just pile the pressure on him so much that it's, you know, his even own fans, right, pile the pressure on him so much that when it comes to playing in official games, he has a tough time at, well, responding to that pressure in certain situations, especially maybe when he has a bad start to a series. So I'll share a couple of clips from you guys here from ShahZaM, from dapr, kind of defending TenZ in this situation, and then also one from TenZ discussing the meta going into the playoffs, the fact that KO is coming into the play.
I think it's not an excuse. None of us like reading that. None of us like that excuse. I think it's not why we lost. It's not an excuse. Tyson having 70-80 ping is not why we lost. Crest, thanks for 2 months. It's not. Even if he had 5 ping, we're gonna lose that game, no matter what. It didn't make a difference. Do I think the ping got in his head a little bit? Yeah. I think ping didn't change anything other than like get in his head a bit. But it's fine. He's coming to Texas for playoffs.
Are you sick and tired of TenZ not playing well in VCT?
Any pro player, just like Tyson, their lives revolve around Valorant. It does. That's their passion. They choose to compete. No one feels worse about a bad performance than the player themselves, you know? He's a kid.
Why Tyson's performing poor? Don't you ever talk about Tyson. The guy is one of the best players I've ever seen grace the gaming world. And this guy has so much pressure on him. If he goes negative in a single series, half the community and his fans that were just saying, oh my god, I love Tyson, bat chest, will be like, Tyson, what the f***? All these excuses. You are so bad. Why bad ping? Suck my d***, man. He's a kid, man.
What is the meta right now? A lot of people run I think KO has been replacing Sky lately just because of the, you know, big suppress, and he's really good at his flashes are the best flashes in the game. I can positively say KO flashes easily the best flashes. There's like, you could set up a perfect hot flash, it will work every single time. It's kind of like a CS flash. Like, you know, in CS people would have lineups for god flashes. Literally can't do anything against it. You have to know or like watch a VOD of them throwing the flash and dodge it, or you're. I'm pretty sure we played Rise on Haven. I was literally looking out for the flashes because every single time they popped out, I think it was A site, they would, Shanks would dash out into a smoke and he would wait for the KO flash to come back site and flash. I could not see the flash. I knew it was coming every single time. I just didn't see where the flash was coming from, and I just got full blinded every single time. Like, you don't hear it, you don't see it. It's so strong, especially if you have lineups. Dear Lord, oh my god. It is so strong.
So what do you guys think about this from the Sentinels perspective, right? I certainly agree that, like, TenZ, phenomenal player, hasn't been performing to his best as of late, and that is the thing, with the playoffs just about coming up, right? They are going to be qualifying here for the playoffs, they're playing the guards. Like, yes, I believe he's moving, things should be okay, better in terms of the internet situation, but yeah, the pressure is certainly on him, right? And that's the thing, like, players at this level, when you are considered to be the best player, like, in the world for a time, and certainly on your team, like, no, you've got to be able to deal with the pressure very well, and it's tough, the pressure that the fans put on him, but at the same time, it's, I suppose it's to be expected when you're playing on this type of a level, right? So good on his teammates defending him, right, and keeping his best interest at heart. But I mean, still, like, the pressure is on Sentinels to perform here. If they don't, there are going to be questions about this roster, given the fact that this meta supposedly should be very good for them. Let's talk then about the matches going on in the VCT. So tomorrow, that of course being today, things of course kick off. These are the matches then in the North American side. So over the next few days, we are going to find the 2 grand finalists will be the teams that make it all the way to Masters, which of course is a massive deal in the North American side. 2 of these 8 teams will make it through. Not clear at all who the 2 teams will be. The favourites right now, probably Cloud9 and version 1. But, I mean, Optica there and thereabouts as well, except the guards. I mean, you know, Knights and LG aren't considered to have the greatest of chances. Sentinels, of course, also down here on this side of the bracket. So today, Cloud9 play Knights, then Optic play up against Exet. The winner of those 2 series will, of course, play each other in the upper semi-finals. And then tomorrow, the guard versus Sentinels. That, of course, is a massive one, right? Because, yeah, Sentinels, if they won the game against version 1, they would have an easier seed, theoretically, up against Exet. But, yeah, the guard are, of course, going to put up a fight. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting a like button tells the YouTube gods it's a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you guys as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Yeah, our whole team is passing over here. Including me. I'm running underground. Yo, I'm making a lot of noise. Above you.
Wait. Hold my tower.
I am, but I have a guardian.
Just one tap him then.
Yeah, I am. I have 2 flashes and stun.
Okay, wait. Stun default.
Stunning. Stunning now. Stun it off. Let me go first. He was here, right? He's
Oh!
But it was. ShahZaM's got a few words to say on that here in just a second. Firstly, what is this?